How do you change that with a team that's many of which will have been there a few years? Maybe you had to change a few people, but how do you actually get people to buy into a pivot like that?
So I think maybe I would answer this question not even with a pivot, not just in connection with the pivot, but also in connection with the whole restructuring that we've done in the last 4 years. So the thing is, I mean, my startup story is not very conventional, right? When I founded in 2016, it was the typical startup story with growing and raising angel investments, ringing the bell when we hit, 100 euros revenue the first
Right.
time, and then like all the stuff. And it was, yeah, the war stories. It's great. Good old times. But when I came back in 2002, it was a different story, right? Like I came back, it was about 25 people in the company.
Hmm.
And frankly speaking, there was a lot of slack in the company. There was,
Hmm.
to give you one example, the new office that they had was like shortly pre-COVID. It was huge. It had 5 separate rooms plus a meeting room, and it was just way too huge. And during COVID, of course, nobody was there. So we had this, when I came in, we had this huge office, and I was like, wait a minute, why do we need this? The first thing I did was basically try to get out of the contract, and then we rented because everybody was also, remember COVID, everybody was kind of a hybrid mode. It was remote, everything. It was hybrid mode. We still are hybrid mode, actually. We don't have office, we don't have an office RTO, as you call it. And when we downsized to a serviced office, with shared facilities and
Hmm.
people taking care of it, our office manager, who was also the customer service person, who was also working on product, told me, but my job is like a third of my job is gone. And I was like, yes, that's the point.
Right.
You shouldn't be ordering toilet paper. Like we should hire somebody to do that. And he was like, but I like ordering toilet paper, right? I mean, this is the most simple example of this, and then people hate change. That's the thing, right? Like a lot of
Great
people
title
hate
for the
change.
podcast episode, Daniel, but I like ordering toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, those were literal words. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Amazing where people stand in their mindset at that stage, right?
and yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, there were thousands of little stories like this.
Hmm.
So people hate change. I think that's very important in restructuring processes. And I think the way I do it, or I did it, is transparency. I try to communicate. I don't like, the whole radical transparency movement kind of thing, because
Okay.
sometimes it's just an excuse to be an asshole. But
Mm.
I like to share my thoughts, right? Like I like to share my train of thoughts with anybody who asks.
Hmm.
I like. I mean, and this is why I'm on the podcast.
Right, of course, yeah.
No, joking. No, like I like to share with our employees. I like to share my train of thought. Why do we do what we do? Why do I make these decisions? Because in my career, I've always had this. Startups are messy, and people are like, oh, love to. I mean, it's a cliche. People love to talk bad about their boss behind their back, and I get it, right? Like some decisions just seem idiotic, just seem like mismanagement. But the truth is, the inherent truth of being a founder is you're juggling so many things, you're managing so many stakeholders. It's really, really hard to please everybody. So you're going to be an idiot for somebody. And I think
Yes.
the only way for me to or that I had to mitigate this, is to share why I did the decisions that I wanted to do, and that I had to do.